Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 9, Episode 16, Reunion Part 3.
Blair, are you sad? This is the last episode of this season. Are you sad?
I'm not sad, but I enjoyed myself. I always love a good Love and Marriage Huntsville season.
I feel like you like the last episode of each season.
Okay.
Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. I'm not sad because, Detroit or DC is going to come back. So, it's only a matter of time before Huntsville. We'd be like, wow, Huntsville coming back this soon? Mm-hmm. Listen, Carlos got a whole system going. So let's see how this last part of reunion went. Let's go, Blair.
Okay, so Ken's problem was Trish admitting things and Martell making jokes. Mel says, well, that man doesn't like that, talking to Martell. Mm-hmm. But you have nothing to say to Ken? Martell says that Ken wasn't being disrespectful, so he has nothing to say. Okay. Everyone starts laughing. Martell is annoyed that Maurice is laughing. Yeah. And Nell tells Martell to stop hollering in her ear. They have a little back and forth, and then he ends up apologizing. Yeah. And Mel asks Chris, so did you tell Martell about Trish? Mm-hmm. Chris told Martell Trish's name. They're sticking to the story. She walked by the gym at that time, and Martell found her on the internet. Trish thought that when she was going to meet up with Martell that they were going to go to a clubhouse, like at a gym in his neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So that's why she wasn't really surprised about the location, because she says even like today she trains people in clubhouses. Okay. Carlos says, well, you went to a married man's home. Like, did you know he was married? The show's been on for several years. Mm-hmm. Trish didn't have any knowledge of the marriage until she actually got there and was talking to Martell. Mm-hmm. And she said that she never watched the show. People were kind of surprised, but Ken did pipe in and said that he didn't watch the show either. She explains that there was a lot of loss going on in her life at the time. So that's why she really didn't watch the show.
You did not... Okay, I don't want to make it seem like, how celebrities be like, you don't know who I am? Yeah. I don't want to make it seem that way, but all of this story don't make no sense. It does. Like any of it, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to stamp this story as a total lie. Yeah. As a total wash. You get what I'm saying? The whole point is we know that she's lying. I think Ken should take more issue with the fact that she's willing to lie to you.
And the thing is, her story's always changing. First, she never went to the man's house. Yeah. Then she comes out and says she did go to his house. But the reason she went to his house is because they were planning on going to the gym, like the actual gym, not a clubhouse, after, they met up at the house. And then she thought she was going to train him at the house. Now she thinks she's going to train him at the clubhouse. So I don't know why Ken is just going along with all the changes of these stories. Like, that's a real problem.
I don't know if Ken is going along with it. He's more like, this was before me. You get what I'm saying? Okay. I think it's a character thing in the sense of like, why lie about it if it was before me? Mm-hmm. So if all of this was before Ken, which it was, right? I don't understand why she feels the need to lie or to breadcrumb us with information unless she's just a liar. And
that is possible.
and she just can't help it. She just can't help but just add little to the story. But I'm over this story about the whole Martell, because truth be told, this is not only is this Tricia's story, this is also Martell's story. And truth be told, we gotta pull the wool over our eyes and basically be like, Martell don't have a story. There's no reason for him to still be on the show. Yeah. Truth be told.
Ken makes a point that Tricia always has to go tit for tat in arguments. Yeah. She didn't tell the truth when he asked multiple times, and then when she did come out with the truth, she kind of beat around it. Mm-hmm. He does want to trust her, but he knows that she has a weird way of communicating.
It's called lying.
And Carlos says, like, around the truth? Ken says, no, like, this really has been the only time this issue has come up. I don't believe it, but okay. Carlos says, so Martell, do you think you owe Trish an apology? And Martell does not think he does.
Me neither. Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. I don't owe that girl no apology because that ain't my man. I don't owe him anything. You get what I'm saying? But like this whole idea of Tricia got a weird way of communicating whenever, you ask her a question. She like to lie sometime and beat around the bush. And I'm just like, listen here, that's you got to deal with that, not me. And the thing about it is, if you are with someone, which Ken has admitted that Tricia always feel like she got to go low and got to go tit for tat, I don't know how you have peace. You get what I'm saying? Because how can you really believe what she have to say? Because she could always rely or fall back on, we was in an argument and I didn't really mean what I say and things like that. It's like, why would you sign up for this? Especially if she's not your wife. Right. It just comes off as weird. But, it's not my problem. It's not my relationship. It is what it is.
Then we see clips of Marquez, Ken, and Trish from the season.
Yeah.
Marquez is on the stage. He says that he's always been present in his kid's life. His issues are with Ken and Trish because they have alienated and ostracized him from the family, and it stops him from being there for his kids.
Listen, he learned that word this week, boy, because he was using that word all this episode, boy.
Before he moved to Atlanta, is what Trish is explaining, that Marquez was already in and out the house. He was staying with other people. He was not there being a father full time. Marquez says, well, back in 2017, Ken was sending "I want to lick you up" texts.
Wait a minute.
And they were good around that time.
Lick you like a lollipop.
Ken makes a point that he allowed their son to drive to him to visit him in Atlanta to spend time with him. I think it was like the son's birthday or Marquez's birthday, in order to see his dad. Marquez says that Ken needs to be a bonus to Trish, but stop acting like a father to his kids.
Okay.
Marquez also makes a comment about how co-parenting with a narcissist will never work.
He learned that word this week too.
Kimmi starts asking, do you provide for your kids like in any type of way? And Marquez says he's always going to be the kid's father regardless. Ken says, well, we give you money. You're a bum. Like you don't provide and you contribute nothing to your children.
Yeah.
Marquez says, well, don't exclude the 15 years before Ken came and how he was a participant as a father in their lives. Trish clarifies that the paperwork is filed for the divorce. Marquez says he hasn't seen it. All the while, Ken is chiming in that he has 30 days to get the paperwork completed, and that if this past the 30 days, then they're just going to go ahead and move forward. But Trish is also commenting that she did the paperwork a while ago. So is it past the 30 days yet? Like, what's actually going on?
This couple give me a headache, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Marquez says that he has real beef with Ken, and Kimmi says that you want a man in your children's life that doesn't want to take care of them. Marquez then throws out that he has the audio of Ken telling him that he ain't ish and he's not a father. Ken is telling you that to your face right now. I don't know why we need audio.
We don't need the audio. He literally said it. He called you a bum like 2 minutes ago. You get what I'm saying?
Ken says, well, DNA doesn't make you a father. Marquez gets to standing up. Carlos tells him to sit down and explains to him, look, we're trying to ask you questions so that you have the platform to answer them, to share your side, and there will be rebuttals. This is an opportunity for people to see where they can do better as well.
Start right here for a second. Let's go over the Ken and Trish and Marquez thing before he moves on to whatever he want to do with Melody and things of that nature. What are your thoughts on the whole Tricia, Ken, and Marquez crap? You get what I'm saying?
That's exactly what it is. My main thoughts about it is that there's no getting through to Marquez, and y'all, there's also no getting through to Trish.
Same.
So, Ken, I see that you really love and care for this lady, but I'm with Marquez. He threw out there like she don't want to marry you, and I'm just like, that's what it's looking like. So you're kind of spending time, money, and effort into Trish and this family that you might not get a marriage out of. And the thing is, that's something that he needs to come to terms with, because if he wants to be married, then it doesn't look like he's going to be getting out of Trish anytime soon. And I don't see why he would want to inject himself into this circus of a situation only to end up with nothing in the end. And I get that he loves and cares for the kids, but I mean, I appreciate him coming into their life and treating them like a father, especially with their father not being present. But at the same time, like, Ken, you can't go around and, scooping up everybody's kids from every relationship. Like, you gotta, you gotta make better decisions about who you choose to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, this just is all very messy. What about you?
Well, here's the thing. He's in too deep now, so now he can't leave the kids now.
Agreed.
So if there's any changes he needed to make, or if there's any changes that needed to be made and things of that nature, it should have been made in the beginning of the relationship, of not even being with a legally married woman.
Fair.
You get what I'm saying? Number two, I wish Carlos would have I wish he would have zeroed in more on if she's divorced, or why isn't she divorced, or when did she officially file and things like that. Because the laws of Alabama that Ken told us is like 30 days and things like that. As far as I know today, correct us in the comments. Please correct us in the comments. She's not divorced still today, 2025, right? So I don't really understand the whole idea of trying to make it seem like, look, I filed for divorce, yeah, today, but what about like the 2-3 years or 5 years that y'all wasn't even talking? Like that, it, like everything about Tricia's life makes no sense. Nothing, right? When it comes to Ken basically saying, look, I've been a father to your kids. I gave your son my car so he can drive to you in Atlanta and things like that. Even in the season, we see that, or it been told to us that he's giving Marquez gas money. Listen here, do not help him be a father to his own kids.
Well,
I'm like it's just not gonna happen. No, you can't use my car to drive to Atlanta. like if Ken is yelling from one side of the couch that he doesn't have beef with him, right? Doesn't have beef with Marquez, and Marquez is on the other side of the couch saying, I got real beef with you though, then guess what? I'm not gonna help you be a father to your kids. I'm not gonna be that bridge, because at the end of the day, I'm a man and I'm a grown up. I'm telling you, I have no beef. I'm not taking lightly of anybody saying they got beef with me.
True.
Not at all. Right? You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, don't talk to him. If he don't want to talk to his kids, don't let him talk to his kids. Don't give him access to the house. If he really want to be a father to his kids, he have to make 100% effort. If you don't have gas money, he won't see him. If he ain't coming down here, he won't see him. You get what I'm saying? And guess what? The kids got to deal with the ramifications of their father's actions. Yeah. I'm not here trying to mend or trying to build a bridge no more, because he got real beef with me. Yeah. And I'm not taking that lightly. I don't care how small he is. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, bottom line, Ken, you signed up for this. I don't know why you did, but you shouldn't. Tricia's a mess. You get what I'm saying? It is what it is, though.
So Carlos then asked Marquez, does he have a crush on Melody? Does he want to take her on a date? Well, Marquez isn't really interested in dating her, but he does admire her and wants to talk business with her.
Why?
Apparently, he hasn't signed the divorce papers. There was back and forth about that as well.
Yeah.
He did try to fight for his marriage. And Marquez says, so how long is a man supposed to stay with a broken woman? She needs to go to counseling. And Ken says, well, he's here to help heal her. Ken, I think she needs to go see a counselor. Yeah. I think the lady needs a little bit more expertise type of help, because she stay lying to your face. And I really don't know why. I
guess it's just her thing. I don't know why either.
So Marquez gives Melody her flowers from the centerpiece in the table.
You see what I mean? He's a bum. He's even bumming off the set. You get what I'm saying? like he's even bumming off the set. Those are not your flowers.
Carlos helped him. He handed him the flowers.
Those are not your flowers. You get what I'm saying?
He couldn't even give them to her.
I know, right?
So he gets on one knee and he would like to talk to her about business opportunities, and she gives him a hug. Marquez says that if, Trish came to the house, she wasn't working out. Making a little dig. Listen, I will say, like, if I was Mel, I'd be like, please get this weird man away from me.
He don't even take care of his kids.
He's doing a lot. He don't take care of his kids. Like, get him away from me.
I would have called security. Yeah. Like security, please get him away from me. But it is what it is. I guess Marquez is just there just to be entertainment. I can tell Carlos is tired of him because Carlos was tired of him when he did his interview with him with Dr. Heavenly months ago.
That interview was just terrible. A circle of madness.
Yeah, but it just is what it is. But it's life.
So we get to only the ladies on stage, and we talk a little bit about the St. Thomas trip. Nell and Destiny didn't raise their hand as far as having a good time. Nell said that it was more than what she was used to.
What you mean, Nell? You was at least half the problem. The first couple nights, you was half the problem for the trip when it came to the rooms and things like that. Where is my name tag on the bed?
Yes.
You know what? Kimmi just sleep in the room that was given. It's like, no, relax. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Tisha wasn't a fan of the room assignments. Mel just wanted everyone to be happy and have a good time. She had a chef. She had, all these events planned. Yep. And she felt like it was like really a top-notch trip. And honestly, watching it, it did look that way, except don't nobody like each other.
Yeah.
Tisha feels like she and Kimmi should have gotten the better rooms, and Kimmi says like it goes beyond just being the OGs. Like we were filming on this show in Melody's backyard for nothing when this whole thing started, and Kimmi does feel like she was caught in the crossfires because of her Mel's situation with Destiny and Tisha.
Well, yeah, I mean it makes sense because at the end of the day, we know for a fact that Melody, I don't care how nice they try to play on stage, Melody, Tisha, and Destiny are not friends.
No.
They are enemies, right? And Kimmi, right? As she said, she got caught in the crossfire because, truth be told, if we was to be honest, we heard it from Kimmi's mouth. If I wasn't married to my husband making you my sister-in-law, I wouldn't be cool with you either. Mm-hmm. So I think she's trying to make it seem like, hey, your reasons for not liking Tisha is valid, but like I thought I was at least the middleman that don't get caught up in any of this. Like, no. This is a trip, and you're gonna room with your sister-in-law, okay? Right. And she's like, why? Mm-hmm. Because she's your sister-in-law, you know?
Yeah. Then we start talking about the scene at the beach with Mel talking about Jesus eating with her enemies, kind of comparing herself to Jesus.
Yeah.
Mel and Carlos asked Nell if she thinks that Mel's head has blown up.
Yeah.
And Nell does believe her head has blown up. Mm-hmm. Mel talks about how, like, you know, you were telling me that this was my show, this was my platform, I'm the queen, and everybody needs to play their role. And Nell says, like, I did say that, you know, this was your platform, but basically, Shanita was the one talking about you as Queen Bee or whatever.
Yeah.
She also was saying that it just hurt me because with your head getting blown up, it feels like you downplayed our relationship.
Oh, but we back
Mel
to this.
gets to sliding down in the chair like, oh my gosh, we got to talk about this again. She has mentored to Mel when she's been in a tough spot, and Mel says that she's done the same for Nell as well. And Nell starts to say, I'm not trying to do that back and forth type of stuff.
Okay.
And Mel just kind of rounds it out and tells her, Nell, I appreciate you. Like, I just really want you to know and feel how much I appreciate the time and consideration that you put into our relationship.
Yeah.
And that's all I've really was looking for from Mel, and that I think it was the first or second part when they were having this original discussion, and she gave it to her. She already gave her an apology, but she really gave her that appreciation and acknowledgement. So hopefully Nell can move on from it.
I really hope so too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was actually the first time in years where Destiny and Mel were in the same room, let alone on a trip together.
Yeah.
Destiny apologized for what she had to do, and Mel told her we would talk. They left the trip with the understanding that, hey, it is what it is, not really in a good place, not in a bad place. But Mel says the opportunity to be friendly was after leaving St. Thomas.
Yeah.
Destiny is tired of Mel creating this narrative that she was doing too much, coming on too strong. And Mel was like, girl, every time I sat down, you was next to me, in front of me, whispering to me, like you were doing a lot.
She was doing a lot.
And she was doing a lot. As if you were, she was doing a lot.
Listen here, let us sprinkle a little behind the scenes and things like that. We all seen that clip that had been circling around. You know, the scene that was cut from the main reunion, and now it made its way on Twitter and it's on other platforms and things like that.
About the grooming allegations.
Now, just to give Destiny some bail, because Lord, please, somebody give her some bail. She has retracted, saying that I was being groomed by Mel.
Right. Okay.
Right. So, but forget the retraction. Why would you say that? Like, as a grown person, right? Now, this is what I don't understand about Destiny, because the more I see Destiny, the more I'm like, are you well? Like, you have followed her. We seen it on camera, and I'm sure it was more off camera, right? To where every time Mel sat here, Stormy had to move her purse down to see the things of that nature because you wanted to sit next to Melody. You wanted to talk to Melody. I saw you randomly tell Melody, I love you, and Melody literally said, thank you. Dude, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All these things to be close to Mel. You have this reputation based off of everybody who watches the show as someone who probably was wronged by Mel in the sense of the friendship just dissolved out of nowhere. I personally think the friendship dissolved out of nowhere because she went through a divorce and you are Martell's friend, right? So anything and everything that is attached to Martell outside of our kids can go with Martell, right? So all through that, you go come on TV and basically said like she was grooming me. I understand some people feel like adults can be groomed, but I don't really, me personally, I don't believe that. And also, like, what's the evidence that you have? That's why I'm like, be careful what you say, because you could get sued for that.
Yeah.
Like, and Melody seems petty enough to make you eat your words, right? And also with the whole coming against Mel thing with she was in the back of the limo doing this with your husband in front of the castmates and things of that nature. Mind you, she wasn't there.
She was not there.
She was not there, which goes back to Tisha, because that's why I don't care how nice Melody and Tisha try to act like they ain't enemies. Tisha over here running her mouth. You get what I'm saying? Basically confirming, like, yeah, it was you and things like that. And I basically told Destiny, basically trying to get back at Martell, trying to show Martell that it was him. But that's why I'm like, I don't really blame Melly for leaving the show. I think we need to force these people to work and force these people to have a real storyline and get off of the Melody and Martell whole storyline. And this thing been living on for over 5 seasons and things of that nature. So that's why I'm like, with Destiny, if you are welcome back next season, because I don't think you will be, you have to work now. There's no Melody. Hopefully there won't be no Martell. Hopefully we can focus on Madani and like basically whatever version it is this time, and like force these people to work and actually come up with their own stories and tell their lives.
Yeah, and then my thoughts about what Destiny threw out there.
Yeah.
I really felt like Destiny was trying to make it a gotcha moment for Mel, to be like, you're sitting up on your high horse, but you're not as, elevated as you think you are, so to say, and throwing out her dirt like that and everything like that. And for Destiny to say that Mel, and I get that she retracted the statement, maybe propositioning her or wanting to see if she was down for a type of situation. If that's your experience, that's your experience. But from the way that she told it, it sounded like you were gathering information from other people and trying to put pieces together to make it seem like she was trying to do that with you. Yeah. So it just leaves a lot of room for interpretation. And that's a harsh statement to make when she didn't really come at you directly. Yeah. Also, I think that, look, people be grown and people be doing wild things. Yeah. Okay. And I'm not going to look at Mel crazy if she had a crazy moment in a van or in a limo with her man, even and around her friends. Honestly, like, there's parties people go to, there's swingers, there's like, people have whole different lifestyles. And I'm not saying Mel is all of that, but I'm saying that clearly that was nobody's business. No. And I don't see why that was brought to the show, to be honest.
I honestly don't. Obviously, Kimmi didn't say nothing, Maurice didn't say nothing, Marsau didn't say nothing, Martell didn't even say anything. No. But that's why I'm like, Tricia always run me the wrong way, but it is what it is. But it makes no sense. The funniest part about that deleted scene part was when Melody was like talking to Nell. Wasn't us trying to get Destiny to go home and things like that? And Nell was like, yeah, there's times that I had to tell you to go home, talking about Destiny. So I'm like, Destiny, you was looking for your gotcha moment, and now your gotcha moment wasn't shown on the main platforms, and now it went around social media, and now you're running backwards. It's like, I don't want Destiny back next season.
Yeah, and the thing is, Destiny does have this weird tug and pull situation with Mel. When we saw them leave from the trip, it seemed like they were on stable ground. But the first thing she does is go to Martell and talk trash about Melody.
It's weird, right?
Weird. It's just really weird. So moving on. Yeah. The entire cast is back on the stage, and the surprise guest comes out, and it is Stormy.
Hello, Stormy.
We see clips of Stormy and Courtney from the season. Yeah. Stormy tells us that she is not pregnant, but they have identified a surrogate. Hopefully next year they will have another addition to their family. Yeah. So congrats to them for that. Yeah. She has been booked and busy between New York and LA. She did leave the show. Stormy didn't like the negativity that came from certain fans of the show, especially while she was doing all these positive things and growing her business. Yeah. Courtney did not come because he don't fool with y'all for real.
Yeah. I mean, truth be told, I will say this though. I'm not gonna act like I was a big fan of Stormy. I'm not a fan of anybody who calls a man out of his name and things of that nature. But I have to be actual. Stormy still is the most successful castmate of Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's not Melody. Yeah. It's not Martell. It's not Marceau and Tricia, as much as y'all try to sell us that they're a power couple. Marceau didn't say a word this whole reunion. You get what I'm saying? Tricia didn't say a word this whole reunion, right? So Stormy is the most successful castmate you have or ever had on Love and Marriage Huntsville, and she had to leave because of harassment. I'm looking at the boss. I'm looking at Carlos. Carlos, you cannot be having your most successful castmate ever just walking off your show. Dude, you get what I'm saying? I understand that you have an open clause to where they can leave. No one's a hostage and things like that. But you have to make the working environment, the filming environment, the environment even after filming is over, to where there has to be some type of boundary or some type of, I actually don't know the word, to where people can live their lives without harassment, right? I understand that Melody and Stormy had that scene on the vacation, basically talking about the millimeters and things like that, and basically Stormy's like, hey, Melody, you are basically a producer of the show, right? You need to basically basically tame your fans and things like that. And Melody basically said, I'm not going to do that. And Stormy basically was like, bet. And then she walked off. And I'm like, that's an issue. That's a problem. And eventually you're going to have a cast of Destiny. You're going to have a cast of Maurice. You're going to have a cast of Kimmi and all these people. And guess what? They are all successful in their own right. But we haven't gotten to Maurice's life. We haven't gotten to Destiny's life. She tried to bring her father on there. We haven't gotten to all these people's lives. They all been living off of basically Melody and Martell. Hey, I think it would serve the show well to have the most successful person, the only person or first person ever to make $1 million off of a live stream off of TikTok on your platform. It will bring eyes, and it will bring like I don't know. Like to me, I'm just like it's kind of sad that even though I wasn't a big fan of Stormy, that she had to leave because she said I have bigger fish to fry. You get what I'm saying? Usually being on TV, being a local celebrity or even a national celebrity used to mean a big deal. It used to be like, you know what, I'm willing to do this because the reward of this is that I get to be known and I'm on TV and things like that. Now people are choosing to like walk off of TV. That's wild to me.
Yeah, I was really happy to see Stormy on the stage. I don't know these people. So there were more moments that, I was, enjoying her on the show and other moments where I felt like she could have done better. But I will say that she brought a lot to the show. And I felt like she brought a lot when it came to her family, her business, and even in the relationships with the cast. Like she was definitely a strong character on the show. Yeah, I would definitely say so. So it was good seeing her, catching up to see how things are going. And the thing is, like, her body butters are banging. So they're amazing.
I mean, just imagine someone saying that it's too negative.
Yeah.
And they have to leave your show.
Yeah.
I think that's something they got to fix internally. I really don't know.
So we talk about the passing of Kiki. Everyone gathered together for a celebration of life for her.
Yeah.
And Tricia says that her only concern is for the kids. And she's going to make sure that she keeps the relationship with her nieces or nephews going. Okay. She was her sister cousin. They had a good relationship. It was an up and down relationship, but there was always love there. And apparently we learned that Stormy paid for the funeral. Nice. And that was really nice because we learned that Kiki's husband was actually kind of like stressing a little bit about how he was going to cover the funeral cost. So that was a really wonderful, wonderful thing that Stormy did. Yeah. Kimmi tells everyone to keep Kiki's kids in your prayers. Marie says beyond that, if there's something that you can do for the family, like definitely take the time out to do something nice for them. Yeah. Tricia wants everyone to know that, look, you think you have time and you allow hurt to get in the way of love, but she thinks that that is awful and she doesn't plan on continuing her life in that way. She's not going to allow hurt to inhibit any of her relationships moving forward. So Carlos encourages everyone to get to a space of reconciliation. Yeah. They cheers with champagne, and it is a wrap to the season.
Yeah, I'm not here to basically judge Kiki's and Tricia's relationship. That's their business and things of that nature, and that's her family. I would just add that on top of looking after her kids, also look after her husband. Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
That's a tough blow.
Because if you looking after the kids and care about the kids, care about the kids' caretaker, and that's the father. So prayers to the family, and I would just hope for Tricia's sake, since she's speaking on basically like you think you have time and basically it's never that deep. I hope she leads the charge on that. Reconcile with everybody, reconcile with Melody, reconcile with all these people. It doesn't mean you have to be friends, but at the same time, I think we get tired of hearing these little pieces of information coming out and Tricia being the mouthpiece of it. This is usually what happens whenever somebody passes away. Everybody have this moment of clarity to where no one's time is guaranteed, and then they go back to their normal life. What's probably going to happen with Love and Marriage Huntsville is everybody felt sorry during this time, everybody wiping their eyes, everybody's crying, everybody's praying, but at the end of the day, once filming is over, everybody go back to their corners, everybody go back to not trying to rebuild what was in season 1, and everybody go on with their life, and Kiki become a distant memory. Yeah, that's usually what happens when somebody passes away.
Yeah, all I gotta say is R.I.P. Kiki, and prayers to the family.
Anything else?
That's it.
Thank y'all for sticking around for Love and Marriage Huntsville. That doesn't mean that you won't see us anymore. That just means that you see us on a different time for a different show. Subscribe, like, share, comment. We see y'all.
Bye.